Today we're making an apple pie crust. Come on in, welcome to my home. Today I'm making apple pie crust. Now with a slight variation, you can change this to just make a regular pie crust. But this one is specifically for apple pie. Why? Because it is using our apple vodka. Well, this is apple infused vodka. If you want to learn how to make apple infused vodka, just click that eye in the sky. It'll teach you how to make apple infused vodka. Or if you just want to make a regular pie crust, or however you want to do it, just use vodka instead. All the ingredients are listed down below in the description, and this is one of those really, really easy recipes. It just takes a little time. Alright, let's start off with the simple stuff. I'm going to take my flour, salt, and I'm using a pastry cutter simply because I have one. If you don't, you can use a fork, you can use 2 knives, it doesn't matter. First thing I'm going to do is mix those things together. Now, I'm going to throw in my butter. Now you're saying, I don't want to use butter. Well, guess what? You don't have to. You can use shortening. If you use shortening, you will not need to refrigerate this, but with butter, you're going to need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pastry cutter and just cut in the butter. The pastry cutter does exactly what you think it does. It cuts in the butter. There are little wires on this that just cut this in. I am doing this on a really warm day, so mine's going pretty fast. The reason I'm not doing this with my hands is simple. My hands would actually make the butter soft. Yeah, that's why the pastry cutter is so wonderful. You want to get this down to the point where it's about like breadcrumbs to pea-size pieces. And that's what it should look like. It should basically look like breadcrumbs. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to take my apple vodka, put that in there. When it comes to the wet ingredients, how much you have to put in there depends upon where you are. If you're in a really dry place, you're probably going to have to put more in. If you are not, you won't. Now's the part where you want to be really careful. Don't overwork this. Now going 1 tablespoon at a time, I'm going to add my water. I'm switching over to a spoon to make this a little easier. So we have 2 tablespoons of liquid so far. Almost there. This will be my last tablespoon of liquid. Now with my nice clean hands, all I'm going to do is form this into a ball. I'm going to lightly flour my silicone pad. You could just flour the counter. Drop all of this out there. Like I said, I don't want to work this too much. Form it into a disc, and then I'm going to move my disc over to some plastic wrap, or whatever you want to use in place of plastic wrap, that's fine. Then from here, we're going to put it into the refrigerator. I'm going to refrigerate this for 1 hour. It has been 1 hour. I'm going to take my pie dough out of the refrigerator. Hopefully unwrap this. Now, rolling away from me, I'm going to turn and just roll my dough out. I'll sprinkle extra flour on this as needed. And yeah, I do have 2 silicone mats. So that hopefully I have no problem with sticking or repositioning. We're getting pretty thin. Gonna have to double up the mats now. Not my favorite thing to do. Alright, once our dough is large enough, which that should be large enough, here comes the tricky part. And I always have a problem doing this. You probably know a much better way to do this than I do. There we go. Now I'm just going to gently press my dough in, bending it over so that I can have a fluted edge. And there we have it, my rustic pie dough. Now, if you make this recipe, let me know. You can get a hold of me on most social media at CM Coleman Home. Now, if you're wondering what we're going to do with this recipe, well, you're going to have to wait. It is another pie that's coming up, but remember, you can use this pie shell for anything, and this recipe does only make 1 pie shell. But if you make it, let me know, and I hope I get to see you again next time. Don't forget to check out these videos that I picked out just for you.